He talks to people about.
Hey. Hello.
Hey,
How are you?
good.
Awesome.
So rainy in LA.
It's raining in LA. That's nice. Let me put us on the gallery. Let's see if I can put us on gallery. There you go. Oh, there we go. Hey, so this is super casual. Welcome to the show. It's beginning now. This is Brets with Friends, episode 72. And I'm with Stella Tinucci.
Mhm.
I got the last name right.
Yeah, you got it.
Nice. You are a director, producer, actor. You're from Paris, France. You are the president of Masquerade Films.
Masquerade pictures.
Pictures. Okay, pictures. Okay.
Close enough.
That's the extent of my research. Okay, so we're just gonna basically, it's unscripted. This is super casual. I haven't done one of these in like a month and a half, so it's been a long break. So I might be rusty. I was probably rusty before that, anyways. But welcome to the show, and let's just dig in. Let's talk about movies and the state of the industry, and then I think midway, I think we're gonna bring your husband Josh in, and how do you pronounce his last name? Margulies?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Correctly. Yeah.
Wow. I'll take these little victories. Because that's so let's talk for about half an hour, then we'll call him in. And yeah, it's easier to talk with one-on-one, I think, and then we'll go from there. So tell us your story. How long have you been in Los Angeles? What do you love about making movies? Give us the cliff notes of, I like to do like a past, present, and future.
Okay. Well, so I moved in Los Angeles. So first of all, I used to go to LA kind of regularly because my parents they're scientists and they go to GPL, which is in Pasadena. So it's like an hour away from LA. So I've been there before and I kind of fell in love with with the city. I was making a lot of films when I was a little girl. My dad had this little camera recorder, you know, the mini DV kind of stuff, for those of us who remember that. So that's kind of, I started filmmaking and I really enjoyed it. And as I said, so I fell in love with Los Angeles. You know, it's for me as a French woman, it's like you see those in movies. You see it seems so glamorous and fancy and fun. So yeah, and I would watch those films where you see the Paramount Studios, the Warner Brothers Studios. So I really having this coming true was amazing. So I made the research and then I applied for UCLA extension and I got in. I did a cinematography and a producing certificate, and yeah, and then I fell in love with Josh and we have a baby now, and yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
So when you're filmmaking as a little girl in Paris, or were you what kind of films were your first inspirations? What like what inspired you to make movies? What was that feeling that you got when you watched a certain picture, or kind of who your favorite directors and genres, and sort of what influenced you?
Yeah, so I'm very vintage. I love a lot of movies from the 60s and the 70s, comedies especially. So that's my specialty. It's comedies. So Mel Brooks, Blake Edwards, of course, you know, some French filmmakers like Philippe de Broca, Francis Weber. So I'm really influenced by those from, as I said, the 60s, 70s. And yeah, and I started off by actually making remakes of those films. So that was fun. And I did also, I would write the film, like rewrite the film, a transcript, and then I would make it shorter and make it as a play. And I would do that with my brother, and we were having a lot of fun doing that. So yeah, so those are really the inspirations, and then some, you know, more classic like David Lean and Charlie Chaplin and so forth. Yeah.
Nice. So like, what do you get, like, because you're from Paris, France originally, and you're living in the States, was there like I guess a big difference between how you saw things being made over there as opposed to how, now that you're actually in it and doing it in LA, was there any sort of differences or cliff notes, or like how did you find those experiences change from like Paris to LA? or was there any difference?
Well, no, there was a difference. I mean, especially because, well, in LA, I got to really experience the studio level of filmmaking, you know, when you're on set. So I can't really tell about the studio level in France because I did a lot of independent films. But in comparison with indie films in France and indie films in the US, it seemed just more organized. You know, there are certain rules. I'm sure there are rules in France. I'm not so aware of those, but I'm sure they are. But that's really the thing that really amazed me. Like, okay, you know, 6 hours later you eat, and then it's, you know, it's 12-hour set, and it's really, 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 you know, organized, and we don't really have that as far as my experience goes with, you know, especially student films in France. It was just, yeah, not so organized. But, yeah.
Is it still is it fun to make movies right now for you?
For me, well, yeah, it's always fun to make movies. It's always tough. It was more difficult with, you know, COVID regulations, wearing masks, getting tested, and so forth. But if you don't like it, then you shouldn't do it. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's peaceful. It's not. It's crazy. It can be very difficult because you kind of like have to improvise all the time and solve problems after problems. So it's definitely not like watching TV and you know, Netflix and chill kind of thing. It's intense, but no, it's fun.
It's work. It seems it's it's almost like a double-edged sword, because I remember growing up as a child filmmaker too, and doing animations and stuff like that. And you know, I guess I'm a little bit jaded, but at this point, because I've seen like other filmmakers that have done, like I met like Zucker, who did Airplane. And at this, I think I told you about this when we first met once, because he was at a conference in Long Beach, and he was on a panel of people, and he was looking to do a movie as well, and he couldn't find financing. And he's like one of the funniest filmmakers ever. He made one of the top 10 funniest movies of all time, and he was having trouble. He asked me if I had any money for his movie, and I was like, oh, "You're Zucker. I mean, you should." And just kind of give me like, it's so difficult in the red tape of things to get something actually done in this, I guess, not just in LA, but anywhere. But also at the same time, there is more access to do projects, you know, shoot them on your iPhone, shoot them on DSLR, you know, up to, you know, the Genie cameras or whatever. You know, I have a filmmaker friend, Min, who said that people in Hollywood won't even look at your film unless it's shot on a certain camera.
Oh wow.
You know, like if it's got to be the whatever the top tier like video cameras are that are doing that. And are you finding that it's more accessible to shoot something without a budget, considering the fact that there's,
Yeah.
and also there's a double question is like, how once you do get something made or written, a script, or even a product, a finished film, what happens? Let's talk about that, because that seems to be a spot where people get not necessarily stuck in, but it's once you blood, sweat, and tears, you made this thing, and then how do you get paid for it? How do you get it released? And or because so much content is out for free right now. I mean, everybody's obviously got their own podcast, and so yeah, so like, you know, how do you generate that into a, because people are used to getting things for free,
Right.
so
Yeah,
what's
no, I
the
mean,
what's the puzzle pieces here? Let's put them
yeah,
together.
no, it's definitely interesting now because, as you said, it's much more accessible to make a film. You know, you just use your iPhone. The new iPhone 13, it's like you can shoot in 4K, and it's insane. So before that, you had to like buy an expensive camera to actually have something, you know, decent looking. So, but as you said, yeah, the opposite thing is it's now we're so surrounded by content all the time, so it's more hard to stand out now. You also have self-distribution. You'll have lots of companies, aggregators, and so forth that can help you get your stuff out there. So I think to stand out now, it's more about marketing. When you make a film, you know, you budget your film, you think about the pre-production, production, post-production, and marketing. This is huge. And actually marketing should start, I've heard, even before you actually shoot something. So the way is to really niche down And that's the marketing strategy. You know exactly who you're shooting this film for. That, let's say you're making a film about soccer. Well, all people about that are crazy about soccer, they're gonna, it's easier to target them. So you know exactly where to go and where to send your film, and how to get distribution. So yeah.
And let's go into a little bit more detail about that, because that's a lot. You just talked about a lot of things really quickly, and I really want to go and sort of, as a filmmaker, I'm going to make movies till the day I die anyways, regardless if I get paid, apparently, because no one's going to pay me to do my movie at this point, which I but like I'll continue to make it as I can. But like, where does that, like, can you lean into that a little bit more and talk about your distribution process, or how you, like, I see the, let's talk about your treasure film there that you guys did in Hawaii that I see in the background. Like, let's talk about that situation and how that's unfolded and where you're at with that right now.
Right. Well, right now, we're waiting on the worldwide distribution. It got distributed in the US. So we approached this sale agent at Cannes, and then we approached him again at AFM, which are the two biggest film markets in the world, I think. And, he was really interested. He saw the trailer, I cut a trailer together. He really enjoyed it. And yeah, we signed the deal. And then he eventually got us distribution with Vision Films, and they acquired it. And yeah, and now I'm waiting for the results on this, and with the sheet. And yeah, that just, it happened like that. That's not necessarily the ideal situation. That's a situation. I think, to me, the ideal situation. Sorry, the baby in the back.
The baby is there. Let's say hi to the baby.
Yeah. She might.
Is Josh in the room as well?
He is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is.
About to go outside.
And the baby. Well, congratulations on the baby. Anyway, I just had a quick question for both of you. We'll bring you in a second, Josh. But did you guys get the car thing fixed? Did you guys get the oil in the car thing fixed?
Yeah, we did. We did. Yeah. It's freaking great now. Yeah.
I like your background. You're in Oregon?
Yeah, this is all green screen. This is a set. No, yeah, I'm in Oregon. Yeah, I'm in the Oregon. It's a cloudy, overcast day.
Well, same with us. It's been raining all day, believe it or not. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, so so is this the Lost Treasure? Is that the name of the movie? I want to get it correct. And you shot that in Hawaii. And how long ago did you shoot that for? Or how long ago did you guys make that?
So we made it. Production days were 7 days, which was kind of insane. We made it happen. I think we had like 1 or 2 pickup days. And also, funny thing is, I was missing some shots, like some close-ups of the map or whatever it was. And we're not in Hawaii anymore. We're back in France, and we shot it in France. Sometimes you see the close-up of the map, and it's not in Hawaii at all. So, but
movie magic.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's my favorite thing. I love it.
That yeah. And how do you like working with? I mean, obviously, working in Hawaii probably was gorgeous and beautiful and stuff like that. Was it? I guess it's all a little stressful, but like, did you find the experience, was it what you thought it was going to be when you, or did you just go full busting and just tear it apart?
Well, for the most part, it went okay, but no, there was a lot of obstacles, like any sets. Yeah, we had an actor that didn't want to shoot in a certain scene, and there was no way, because for spiritual things. So I'm like, well, okay, well then I'll let you go, and I have to rewrite. The next day I had to rewrite the entire script. She wants her Minnie Mouse. Bye.
Okay, we'll see those guys in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just just lots of things. Once there was it was raining. And it's what we call Hawaii blessing. It rains for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe more. Maybe it was like a half hour. So we had to like hold the production because you couldn't, you had to match. So yeah. And then once one of the crew member, because we had the day before, we had kind of a long day. We finished at like 9 or 10 p.m., which it's late because then we had to like wake up at like 7 or 8. So and he didn't wake up. And tried to call him, like, you know, what's happening? Is he running away with my footage or whatever? And no, he just, poor thing, just fell asleep. He didn't wake up. And then eventually he did. He had to Uber, and it was far. It was, you know, I don't know if you know Hawaii very much, but you know, there's Waikiki, and then there's North Shore, so south to north, and it's like an hour drive. So you have to Uber there, and, and eventually you made it through the day. But that was funny.
So what? Okay, so now that you've got that, what are you working on? Like, what do you what are your thoughts? Actually, it's not scripted. I'm making all these questions up as I go, but it's more curious. Like, where do you find the state of the industry now? Like with all that we just said and talked about, and the different medias and ways to distribute and free content and all this stuff. What is the? I mean, I was talking to my buddy who's a producer. He said streaming is where it's at.
Oh, definitely. But I think the streaming platforms are going to hit the wall at some point, because and Netflix is already dealing with that, because it's you get all this content for, you know, $10 per month, which, you know, it's not much. So how are they going to generate money? Netflix is already implementing a way so there's no passport sharing, because passport sharing, because otherwise, you know, they can't make any money. I understand it. Even though I'm sure I practiced that maybe once with my brother, I don't know. But yeah, and so they need a lot of content, good quality content, and the distribution is cheap. So and also there's so many platforms now that it's overwhelming for us as customers, as viewers. We're like, well, okay, what can you watch? I don't know what to watch, because there's so much. There's, you know, HBO, now there's Paramount Plus, there's all these things. I can't keep up with all that. So yeah.
Do you think this waters down the original concept? I mean, of like an idea, say like the Star Wars Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff, and all on Disney Plus and stuff like that. Do you think these are watered down versions of just mass produced Hollywood stuff that's applicable and shareable in different countries as well? They want to spread it out so that there's a market for it in Japan, Australia, right, Africa, Germany, all these different. So do you think there's, like, I guess I'm answering my own question, but the independent filmmaking, it seems to be where you can still get unique ideas and original story content, but there's so much marketing for these commercialized mass produced content that it seems like is it just filling time, all this content, is it just filling slots and just produce, not really knowing that they're going to sell this content no matter what, like Moon Knight, all this, they got the umbrella of money behind it to market this stuff. Is it unique anymore, or how do we find the unique stuff? And because I know that lots of people like yourselves, you and Josh and other filmmakers are making stuff, but I mean, how is there any room for creativity anymore?
No,
I mean, and how do you get people to watch it?
Well, the thing is, you know, for the big budget movies, the big studios, they don't want to take risks anymore, because there's so, you know, it's more and more expensive to make a film now. And you mentioned marketing. Marketing is like at least 20% of the budget, maybe more, maybe 50. It depends. But so that's why they're still recycling, because they know the structure. They know it's going to work, and they know they can sell it everywhere. So that, you know, all those tentpole, I think that's how it's called, you know, they can go everywhere. It's a worldwide appeal, and that's why Comic-Con is important too, because they know, oh, you know, that comic book is really popular, let's make a movie out of it. That's why adaptation of books, that's why remakes, those, they know who likes it. It's a sure business plan. Now for indies, yeah, sure, there's independent films, since they, you know, they need less money to be produced, then it's less risky, and you need less audience to generate money and to generate, you know, a revenue. So yeah, and as I said, I think to find good content, I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of like, you know, browsing ideas here, but
yeah, me too.
Yeah, but as I said, niching down as a filmmaker is definitely the way. As an indie filmmaker, that's the way to get seen, because otherwise you can't compete. You can't compete with the appeal of the big budgets films or the big studios. It's not even, you can't even try it.
Yeah, people like, I want to go to Hollywood, make Hollywood movies. Well, Hollywood already makes those movies,
Yeah.
and they make them better and bigger. And you're gonna compete with, your iPhone for something that's already built in IPs. These intellectual properties. People like making movies about McDonald's. How many? We had another Elvis movie coming out, which looks pretty good with Tom Hanks. But it's like these are already, they're doing these We Work movies, and everything's just so like you could read it in front. Okay, they make this movie because I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like who wants to watch a movie about We Work or how Uber got started? But it's already free. These are real things, and it's just like they're swallowing the. I don't know. I guess I'm a little jaded, but I'm a creative, so I want to keep on making stuff. And if like when we were children, we made our movies, we're gonna still do these. If we can make a movie as a child, as we get older, people sort of stop doing. They have their kids, and they kind of like it gets the trajectory of starts to plateau a little bit, and now they find them in a situation where they're living in LA. They're 50 years old. They've been there for 20 years, 25, and it's the energy of LA is so intense to me. Like sometimes it's like just everybody fighting over the same bone, like trying to, if you can't do something for me, then we can't be friends, or now I've become successful and I don't know who you are anymore. There's lots of these cycles of how people interact and get things done in LA. And I guess it's a sort of example of what they do everywhere. I guess finding your voice and independent filmmaking or acting gigs, or it's just how do you stay strong and continue to do it and fight the good fight?
You need to have a strong community, with your friends, family, and you need to have that small circle that is, giving you good feedback, honest feedback, and also giving you the strength to continue. I have my family. I have Josh. I have we make all those. When we just made our little screening together, that was fun. For instance, that's a little club, a little film club, and that's a way to support each other. So
yeah, that was great. When we had a little showing over your house, that was fun. It's always fun to, it was good. We got to do it again.
Yeah. Film club. Yeah. We need to find a name.
What's that?
We need to figure out a name now.
Yeah. Well, for the club.
Yeah, for the club.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. Film finds you. Film something easy. Film finds you club.
Yeah. Something easy. We'll find it. Maybe the baby will figure it out.
Yeah, the baby. I rely on the baby at this point to figure out. Because if the baby can remember it, that's it's good marketing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like, where are you at right now as an artist, as a creative, as a filmmaker, with knowing where you've come from, where you at with certain projects? What do you see? How do you feel going into this 2022? Like, what are your thoughts about creativity and filmmaking and what you want to do next?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to be very let's say spiritual or whatnot, but I'm currently developing a whodunit feature film, kind of like a Clue thing. So that's pretty fun. So as soon as the rewrite is done, I'm gonna start working on this and collaborate with a few producers that I have in mind. So yeah, and hopefully we'll get to shoot it before the end of the year. So that's the plan.
And when I first met you, we met at the Chinese theater, Grauman's Chinese theater in the back. And there's a premiere that we were saying we had mutual friends, Claude and Bonnie Root, and I met her and Jared, they just did that film. I'm gonna have them on too, but we network when we met really quick, we started networking really right away. Like, and I liked that conversation we had, and you seemed very in tune to like you told me a little bit like, oh, you're gonna do an Indiegogo for this project, and I was like, I guess. But you when we were having this conversation, I could see that your brain was thinking of all the different ways, because I was going, I need help, I don't know what to do. And you're all, well, Indiegogo, and I was like, yeah, I guess so. And just even is that what you're gonna try to do now with yours?
No, so those two behind me, this real estate and lost treasure, I went the Indiegogo road. So I know that I have the experience. This is not the funnest road. It's definitely a road that seems the easiest, even though it's not. It's not at all. Asking for your family, friends, and whatnot for money is not, it's not really ideal. But yeah, so for the next one, no, I definitely want to go the official road. So I have a business plan and I have all those fun stuff for investors and stuff like that. So partnering with the right people is really the key here.
Yeah, and so what? Okay, so with that being said, can you tell us a little bit more about your Indiegogo experience on that? Because I know that sounded like just what you said, kind of, but like, can we go in a little more? Like, how long did you do it for? Did that becomes a job, right, in itself at Indiegogo,
Yeah.
with totally reminding people that it's still going on, and without trying to be too annoying. Like, how long did you do it for, and can you explain your Indiegogo process a little bit? So
Well,
it might be interesting to people that are like myself or other people that have already done it, to cross-reference their experiences as you tell yours.
For sure. No, so Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and GoFundMe. Haven't used Kickstarter. So Kickstarter, you raise money. Then if you don't reach your goal, let's say you have this 10K, you need to raise 10K to make a film. If you don't reach that goal, then the money goes back. So that's one thing to know. It can be useful, I need 10K or not. And if I don't get those 10K, I cannot make the film. So it makes sense to give the money back. Now Indiegogo and GoFundMe, those are the ones I used. These ones, it's flexible, so you can ask for the return of money, or you can just get whatever you're getting and use that for that purpose. Then the important part is the preparation, really, generate the interest before the campaign has even started. And I think the campaign lasts 3 months, I think my memory is correct. And then once you hit your goal on Indiegogo, for instance, then it goes on demand. If you don't hit your goal, then it just stops. And then you get the money, whatever you have. But if you hit the goal, so people can still give money after you reach that goal. And then you have what they call the perks, and you have different levels. So let's say, okay, so if you give me $5, I give you a shout out on social media. If you give me $100, then you get this and you get that, and you get a credit, maybe, whatever it is. But this, you can choose it, make it your own. And as you said, it's all about promoting the campaign, and then you can also make some fun events about to talk about it. And have a little video demo updates and all those things.
And do you think it's a good idea, like, I acted in this thing called Cheeky Birds, and my friend Ethan directed it, and with his wife, they created the proof of concept video, and the amount of work, and they've funded it themselves, and is great. I'm gonna try to have them on the show, but I might just show it. Cheeky Birds, it came out really good. It's a great proof of concept. So when you are at that level and you do that, and you're waiting to try to get eyes to see this proof of concept that you've already built, that costs money, time, all these different things, and so is that the most viable thing to do? I guess, is that it's kind of obvious, but I also want to get your opinion on it. Is that making a proof of concept, does that really help to get the final product made?
Well, it does help for investors to have an idea of what it looks like. If I give you a script, okay, that's great, but it doesn't represent what it's going to look like. My proof of concepts, usually, I don't want to spend money on a proof of concept, to be honest. My proof of concept, I always just put some clips of films together, and then put some music that maybe the composer that I partner with, he made a demo of the music, and so I put all of this together, and it cost me $0, So
it's like a performa, or is that used to be those? Like I did some work with. You grab, you make a performa, and hopefully that'll do the same trick as a proof of concept, or because if you're gonna make a film, just make it, right?
Right. I mean, if you want to do a proof of concept, just don't spend too much on that. No, for sure, because unless you want to make it as a short film, and then it makes sense. Okay, then you can submit to festivals. But if it's just kind of a fake trailer, I know I don't get it. So
I agree.
yeah,
I totally. That's why some people said, "Oh, just make a proof of concept for this thing," but for Return to Sender. But it's like
right,
also it takes place in 1999,
right.
and it's gotta to do. It's just a lot of detail to push all in that thing, and then just do the concept and go, okay, this is. I mean, it should stand on its own. So maybe I'll return. Maybe I'll just do it as a
You can
short
make a
film.
short out of it, like a 5-minute short that stands
Yeah,
by
take a scene.
itself, and then yeah.
Just take a scene and just do it.
Well, I don't know if a scene would do it, but just like I know it's harder. There's a French expression from I think that from Pascal, a philosopher, that says like, sorry, I couldn't make it a shorter letter because I didn't have enough time. So it is more difficult to make something short.
Mhm.
Of course, feature films are difficult in a way, but writing a short film from a feature film is kind of a difficulty. It's kind of difficult, but it's an option though. I would encourage that if you have, if you can do it and for cheap still, but have the quality should be there though, because of course.
Did you see the Will Smith Chris Rock thing last
Oh
night?
yeah, oh yeah, that was funny.
What did what's the, I know I go a little what would you what tell us your perspective on that. What were you doing when you saw it, and what did you think during it and after? What do you cliff notes? I mean, it just happened last night, so I'll try to have this edited and out today, but it's
Well,
fresh.
yeah, well, I wasn't expecting it at all, and then I was doing something else at the same time, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, that just happened. And Josh, he was like, and he still thinks it's a stunt thing. I'm like, no, that looks kind of real though. I mean, my opinion on this is it's like they're all in the wrong. Both of them are in the wrong. Chris, he went too far with his joke, and of course, there's no reason to slap somebody. So I think it's funny because I mean it's kind of pretentious anyway. These Oscars and stuff can appear a bit pretentious. All the glamour and this, and it's fun and like, oh, apparently something's happening.
Yeah, it was like it was two rich guys getting slapping each other on stage. Like Will Smith is so insulated. I'm sure his bubble of reality is. I'm only assuming that. When you're that rich and that powerful and that like, hey, it's a babe. What's your baby's name again?
Eloise.
Louise.
Mm.
Hi.
She likes the screen.
Yeah, she's made for the screen. And how old is she now? You and
Gonna
Josh
be
had. We might have to bring Josh in here.
Yeah.
What's So baby, what's it like being in LA right now? We'll just direct the conversation to baby. How's your day going today, baby?
Well, tu veux dire quelque chose?
So wait, and she's got an illustrious career happening as well. She was in something recently.
Oh yeah, she was playing the baby version of the main character in a feature film, and then we shot a film in France, a short film when she's the magic baby. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
And you
So-
guys had her before at the beginning of. Oh, what's happening here? Is there ashes falling down from the sky?
Oh, careful!
Uh-oh, it's Oregon.
It's gonna be like what's the Cyrano, where we're shooting and then there's like a volcano exploding. Careful.
I know it's like it could be. We do have volcanoes. Mount St. Helens is around here somewhere.
If I see some things in the background, I'll let you know.
Oh, then we could put some CGI stuff. We could
Yeah,
make
right.
something exploding. We put a
Yeah.
mountain right there. See, we'd need a budget. You don't have.
I mean, VFX can do some magic, but you can't always fix it in post. Huh?
Yeah, and also in camera is always better. Like that's actually an interesting thing. Would be interesting to talk to you real quick about, like with all these apps and stuff like that. Everybody creating their own, whatever influencers or whatever. They're, I mean, the eyes are getting so sophisticated. Like when it comes to special effects, and even these, but the apps that are happening right now, where you could there's an app where we could actually probably put a volcano in here.
Yeah.
It's so accessible to do. So I might have to. All right, hold on.
All
I
right.
might have to.
To wrap it up.
No, we're not wrapping it up. Hold on.
No, but yeah, to
Oh, I might have to change locations.
Okay.
Hold on, we won't wrap it up. We're not over yet. Hold on.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
outside.
the clouds. See, this is Oregon. This is
Is
Oregon.
it hailing on you?
I don't know what's gonna happen, but the clouds are being mischievous.
And it might snow?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just a water drop came. Look at the canopy here. Had
Oh, nice.
the wind blew the whole thing apart,
Background still? What are you talking about?
and so there's no top to the canopy. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah.
background,
That's
great.
good.
Anyways, that's my backyard.
Oh, the
Um,
wind.
Hold on. I'm gonna take you guys to the garage. I told you this is a free form show. Hold on, because I don't want to
Yeah.
get my. Hold on.
We can always cut this part out.
No, leave it. It's all good. I like it all. Hold on. Then we'll get back to the questions.
It's probably fun.
Yeah, hold on. It's my brother. Hold on. I think it might be sprinkling outside. Okay. We'll put some mood music on. This will
yeah.
becomes a horror film. Okay. It'll be movie magic. Okay.
New location. Company movement.
Here. We're still hold on. There we go. Okay. So we're still doing this. Okay. So what were we talking about a second ago?
Oh wow.
Oh, the apps and different special effects
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like that. So all this content that's being created, do we have enough time in the day to for everyone to watch this? I mean, it takes a lot for me to watch a movie these days.
Especially when it's 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's an expression that I've heard from a French friend that says, you don't say you don't have the time. You make the time. You take the time. Each day when you wake up, if there's something you really want to do, then you'll do it. So when we browse Facebook, and now Facebook has those reels, and sometimes I click on it. So no, we don't have time to watch everything, but we take the time to watch things.
Yeah.
I go on my walks sometimes and I listen to some podcast about filmmaking or other subjects. Because
so we're getting this is actually, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did, but we're still absorbing the same amount of actually not the same, we're absorbing more content, but it's more on our time.
Yeah.
So it gets very specific where you can you can listen or watch a podcast for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, and then go someplace else and it's like we're watching media as we're doing more things.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of multitasking. Now YouTube, you have the option of like putting the little screen on the side, and I forgot how they call it, like a picture in picture or something like that, which I enjoy that. I'm doing something and I'm doing something else. Yeah, I guess, there's this. We're surrounded by content. So now it goes also with the attention span. It's getting span, and it's getting shorter and shorter as the next generation goes. So yeah.
Well, and when I know we're gonna beat dead horses here, but it's interesting because like when we grew up, or when we were growing up, things were either half an hour,
right,
an hour, or an hour and a half. There was, or like if you got like a Godfather, is 3 hours, which is epic or something like that.
But was there an intermission? No, not in Godfather, but some films in the 60s had intermission after an hour and a half.
Yeah, they did have intermission.
Yeah, and now I wish I'll go see Batman and there's an intermission. I'd like to have that. No, there isn't anymore. You have to
so that's you get 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I heard the last 20 minutes. I heard it could have been cut. 20 minutes could have been cut out of that easily. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either, but yeah.
That
would be more appealing for me, well.
Do you feel like seeing it?
Yeah, maybe it's just the baby, we need to find a babysitter and things like that. So probably, but yeah. So that's the thing too. You're like, well, maybe I'll wait until it's on one of those streaming platforms, and that's why the movie theaters is really taking it's great for the blockbusters, because the indie films, they can't compete once again. So the streaming is great for the indie films, but then they're affected by the theater. Whatever. I'm just like thinking things right now.
Great. This is a stream of consciousness show. This is definitely, there's a reason why it's unscripted, is because if we know we're about to talk about it, we might not be finding out interesting things, we're kind of carving through our own brains. So how we're digesting media, there's more ways to do it. You can do it. It's just a wild west, really. I guess and it's nice to talk to another filmmaker about it, because it's actually stimulating my brain to go, it's almost like therapy, because we're processing. Okay, there's all these different ways to get stuff. We have all these talented friends. How does it do it? And when we do, is anyone really going to see it? Or how is it going to turn out in the end? It's like because you're not competing with Hollywood, because Hollywood's already competing with Hollywood. So there's this underground like dwelling where we can make things, and I guess that's an exciting time.
No, and with the good thing about the pandemic is that now we're really used to do a lot of things online. You're in Oregon, you can still do your filmmaking business, you can take Zoom meetings, you can do all those things. So you don't even have to be in LA. I mean, sure, for the actors, I think it still makes more sense. But for the creators, the producers, the directors, you can be wherever. So because like Zoom meetings, whatever. You can.
Well, I remember that one that one commercial growing up as a child that it showed the guy on the rock, and it said, "This one day, this will be your office." And then they have and it's about having a fax. When they invented the fax. And there one day, and it's showing all these different things of people being in nature doing business, and this is like 30 years ago or plus, whenever they came out with the fax, and now we are living in that reality where the office is a rock on the edge of a water, and you're you're cutting deals. I mean, it's like, it's very the way things get done. I mean, do you ever see those movies back when they would shoot like in the 20s or whatever, they have this giant colossal camera dolly and lighting that was like the size of this, would take up all the room of this garage, and in front of an actor and like about to say their line, but now it's like, it's just incredible that we can, I guess we have to embrace it. We're still in that growing period, right? Where we're able to figure out how to use these new tools. It's
the same at any stage, when they first invented the cameras, they didn't really know how to, what to do with it. And then the Lumiere brothers, they figured out a way, and the Méliès and all these people, all the pioneers. So, and then when sound arrived, what am I going to do with sound? Cinema is just image, it's just a moving image, and no, we can use sound, and there you go. And now you have the VFX, and there's still something that I haven't been explored, is VR. It's we haven't really touched about that yet in the filmmaking environment.
Oh yeah, I should hook you with Cody Nowak.
Oh, okay.
I did he's a big VR guy. He lives in downtown. He was on the podcast, but we talked about the whole VR thing, and that's like gonna change up.
Yeah.
Once we get used to it, like we would be doing this podcast, and there's like 30 other people in the room. Through VR headsets, like an audience that's in the VR room, and we're in VR having a top conversation, but everybody's in 3D and stuff like that. Right. That's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think we have the tools, but we don't know what to do with it. And I think VR, to me, it's for video games. I think VR is gonna figure it out, but for filmmaking, I know some people kind of, I went to I think it was a seminar or something, and I saw some VR films, like just like a regular film, and it's not there yet. It's not that. So that didn't really work. Like if you pull that way, there's one story. This way, there's another story. It was just strange.
Yeah. Did you not like? Was it too jerky? The experience was not smooth.
I don't know. It was just strange. It was a mix of video games and watching a film. I think we can do better than that. And we're still exploring, but it needs to go somewhere.
There's this guy Red Band who does virtual Red Band, he was one of Joe Rogan's editors. He does Kill Tony. anyways, he's got a podcast called Virtual Red Band, where he invites people in VR, and there's a whole bunch of people. They can bring people on or kick people off. There's people that troll and come on and they kicks them off. There's getting the like arguments, and this all being in real time, these conversations about what is happening, going in this room or going to this reality. And it's people are in it from all over the place. So it's interesting because I think that's going to become more common.
Yeah. I think it's also about getting used to it. As I said, the first time film appeared, it was like this train coming to us, with the Lumiere brothers, and people are like scared. Oh, wow, there's a train coming. If we watch that movie nowadays, we're like, oh, okay, it's just a picture, shot of a train and people are coming off the train. Not that interesting, because we've seen a lot of things. So it's the same thing right now for us as far as VR goes. It's like, oh, it's strange. What's that? What are we gonna do with it? But you go maybe 50 years later, 100 years later, people are gonna be like, oh, this is VR. I know what it is. It's and I can do better. So
that's like, did you ever listen to Alan Watts?
No.
Alan Watts is great theologian, philosopher. He talked about in his later days about how we would build these rooms, and we would be having conversations with people that weren't even there. This is like 45 years ago, he's saying these things, and create these things where we will do this in such a way until it builds up. I'm paraphrasing like the shit out of this, but we will create a world where we don't even know if it's real or not. It'll synthesize into like you're having a conversation with somebody that's not really there in a room. They might be dead, and it might be their AI, and you're having like Uncle Bob or whatever, and having conversations with your great grandmother or something like that. And when that comes, it's going to be like, do you believe we might be living in a simulation? You know about that?
No, no.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I've thought of it once, but like Truman Show kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, as I said, my parents, they're scientists, and they're rocket scientists, and they explore the space and study the space. It's kind of hard for me to believe that. So.
Okay, and on that note, let's bring in your husband, Josh. Margulies.
Yay!
All right.
He's coming.
He's coming. You
The
bring the
baby
baby if you want to. Bring the whole family. Those would be great.
All right, I'm gonna bring the baby. Okay.
God, the lightings. Let's see. It's still sprinkling outside.
Well, he's finishing up an email, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
About an audition, like the self-tape.
Ah.
All right.
She's clapping.
Yay!
I'm just off an Oscar win. You saw that on Facebook, right?
Yeah. You got your Oscar last night.
Best actor. I mean, I've made it. Best actor Oscar. I mean, that's pretty big stuff there.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Yay, mother bit. Woo!
So let's talk about you. You're Josh Margulies.
That's right.
You're a working actor.
Mhm.
Look at, we're transitioning so good. That was effortless. I was scared about this part because I didn't know how I was going to be able to interview both of you and at the same time. So this is great. Tell us about I obviously know going into this conversation, I know things that you've already talked about in other interviews and stuff like that. Like,
okay.
But so I want you to talk about things that you're passionate about that you haven't sort of expressed in interviews and stuff like that. Like, so, but I'm just gonna go right for like
broad.
It's super broad, unscripted. I didn't make any. I'm making this up as I go along. But
Cool.
how did you? Let's go from past, present to future in a nutshell. Did you? How long you been acting? Who your influences? You're also producer, director, and tell us anything about you that how you're creating things and where you came from and to present, and then we'll go into the future.
Okay, well, I was born in Nepal under a full moon. And my mom and dad met traveling. My dad was a doctor doing his residency and taking some time off after graduating from Johns Hopkins. So that's the East Coast vibe where I come out with that a little bit, and I put that into my essence. I have this like kind of East Coast, get things done sort of thing. But my mom was born and raised in Hawaii. And so she's not mellow, but she's got this Hawaiianness to her. And that's why, you know, you can see I got the Pico necklace and the Aloha shirt, kind of representing Hawaii, Hawaii today after I got my Best Actor award. Thank you. Yeah, just coming from those beginnings and having a real passion for life, basically, is kind of, it's what brought that passion for life, because I blame it on my dad. I blame it on my mom. You know, they met at like that passion. I'm the firstborn, so I was the one that they're gonna give that passion to. I feel like, and that got me interested in sharing that, which in turn got me interested in being behind the camera a little bit. I went to film school when I was, kind of just discovering things, maybe like 20 or 21. So I was, discovering myself a little bit. And I took the film school, and then I started doing production work. I moved back to Hawaii after college. I did some film school in Australia as well. So I got to travel down there. Australia, Southeast Asia, that's one of the sweet spots of the world for sure. But anyway, I digress. I was taking the production. I was working for MTV, production assistant, doing all these things. I was like the go-to guy in Hawaii. And then I just got sick of it. I was like, well, I don't want to be lugging. What do I want to do? The coolest guys on set to me were the grips. They're just chilling, and they're still like the most chill cats on set, because they're not like all in their head about like, how much money are we making and all that shit. They're just doing their job. They're lifting fucking sandbags and running around and just, smoking cigarettes and talking to people and hanging out. When they can't, when they're not working. But
I want to be on that set.
So exactly. So I mean, there's a lot of undercover stuff going on the set all the time. But being the PA was great for me, because I was on Lost as a PA, which was a show that ran in Hawaii for several years. You've heard of it. And then I started watching the actors, and I was like, these guys aren't all that. I mean, like, they're just people. So what? So I transitioned, and I think I always had it deep down inside that I wanted to be an actor, and that's what got me into the behind the scenes side of things. But I started transitioning. I did a lot of background work, and then I took acting classes, and I did the work, 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 and I'm still doing the work. It's just you kind of push, and then recognition and fame is a funny thing, and it's a fickle thing. But I feel like I'm at a point now where I have started to own myself. I know myself. I know what roles I can play. I know my timing, like comedically, I know what I can do. I'm getting that team behind me. I'm getting the ball rolling like an avalanche, right?
Yeah.
Coming down the mountain, and there's only a matter of time for great things to come from my acting.
And what do you? I touched a little bit with this. I talked a little bit about this with your wife. But like where do you find the state of the industry now that you've been in it for a while? Like, are you finding it's easier to get people to network and to get like-minded people behind stuff?
I think before there was a lot of static, but I think there's even more static now. Like there's just everything's popping. I mean, I think everyone would ideally love to be up on, getting that best, being an actor. Maybe everyone doesn't, but a lot of people think they can because of TikTok and all these live Facebook videos and whatever, like they want to be on the screen. There's all this screen time, especially with the whole COVID thing in the past 2 years, and people like went interior more, and so there's all this digital, and it's more, I think with the static it's more difficult, but there's also a lot more opportunities. There's these podcasts, there's for me, I think self-tapes are great because I can just do it on my time, and I don't have to drive across LA, and I don't you know, I could be, I was in France last summer and I just got a barrage of like 6 or 7 auditions, and I had to like, it was a one callback, and I couldn't do it all because I was overseas, but I could do most of them. And imagine if I was overseas and they're like, yeah, you got to be in Hollywood in an hour. I'm like, well, no.
Yeah.
So I could actually, you know, that's the nice thing about self tapes. And also you kind of get to direct yourself and be what you want to be. So that's good.
What you want to be.
Good and bad. There's static. And then there's being able to cut through that static and get through to people.
And there's a big industry now. Like I remember like auditioning when I was auditioning for things, and you drive for fucking 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get to this location, and then wait in line and sign in, and then you got 10 seconds. And
sitting there, you got all the, you know, you're sitting there, you're intimidated by all the other actors that don't exactly look like you, and you're like, why are they here? So, and then, but there's I kind of miss the buzz of some of those auditions. Few and far between, where you're actually getting on the set and you're at like the set of Paramount, and you get to walk past the guard, flash them your ID, and you have this VIP, you know, audition at like Paramount Studios. Woo! Okay, so there's some buzz that I kind of miss with that. That energy.
It would be a good idea for a video game is you call it the, you know how they have the girlfriend experience or something like that, or hookers or whatever, or VR, but have the actor experience where people go in and you're a video game and you're auditioning for a part in a, you know, or something like it, where it's
like something where like go in business and make this happen.
Well, I guess it's for the perspective of a single player going into an office and everyone looking at you funny. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Or like I was thinking like a live experience too, where you could recreate this thing of like pre-COVID, where you know you get a little studio. Whatever. I think that's a little much though. You like rent the studio. And...
You want the actor's experience? This is it.
Yeah.
So what are you working on now?
Bye-bye,
Ursula, right?
Baby, Eloise, not even close. Ursula.
I don't know. Eloise. I'm dyslexic.
Like I don't know baby's name.
Baby. A baby. It's a baby. It's a cute little baby.
Eloise is the one that she's the real star. She was on a Instacart commercial that's streaming still. And she played a baby on that. She played the baby star of this film that's going to be in Scotland. It's like she's the name of the film is Caroline, and she plays the baby Caroline. So there's a little scene with her. That's also a film that I was in, and I play the love interest. So we're both in that movie in the beginning, and it's going to be in Scotland in April. Like it's in Scottish film, the Scotland Cinema International Film Festival, I think, or something.
Did you do an accent for the? Did you do an accent?
Well, he's just an American dude, so I didn't have to, but I can probably do a Scottish accent. I'm not going to improvise one right now.
Do you remember seeing, this is so funny because I forget this movie came out like right before COVID, and it had all these big time actors in it, and they all had, it took place in like Ireland or something like that, and they all had, it was like, I forget the thing, it was like an all-star, it like had like, I don't know, big people in it, but they're all doing these really crazy accents. It was almost like a joke. It was always, you know, that Irish accent that, I don't know, I feel like Sandra Bullock or Nicole Kidman. They're all, oh, the potatoes, and I was like, oh, they're really going for it, but everybody's, anyways, I digress. That's a silly thought. But it was this funny, it's this trailer where everyone had Irish accents, but they were so over the top that it looked like it was a joke, but it was supposed to be a drama or a rom-com or something like that.
Oh, that's, so they didn't pick the right genre.
Yeah, or something.
I thought of like Tropic Thunder, where Robert Downey Jr., he puts on blackface and he has an Australian accent, just random thought there because I thought that was so cool. Now you couldn't. It's too woke.
Whoa, he barely got away with that. He got right now. That is the last like. But his reveal,
he looked good, man. He was spot on.
He chewed it up. He ate it. He had an Academy Award-winning performance in that movie.
For sure. Did he win an award?
No, but he did. He transitioned from like 4 different characters. Like
that was amazing. It's like comedy. That's the other thing we could talk about. Comedy doesn't get it's coming. It's like what we don't. The comedic actors, which I am. I mean, I've been working on that, and like. That's where I'm at. I'm a comedic actor for sure. It doesn't get its deservability. It doesn't get its credit where the credit is due, because why are people so fucking serious all the time? Why is this shit on TV? I go through Netflix right now and pick out 5 or 10. I mean, sorry, Netflix. I'm not naming any names. I could go through a streaming service.
Netflix is not watching this.
Pick out 5, 10, 15 shows that are successful that I wouldn't want to watch again unless I want to like jump off a cliff. You know what I mean? I don't like this like gritty, dark, like you can't even follow things. I'm sure there's some brilliance in it. There was a show, The Servant. I met Shamanala. He did it, and it's like got these twists, and you're like, oh, that's fun. But otherwise, why do you want to see a movie about the end of the earth? Why do we care about that?
Oh, well, Don't Look Up had a great concept. Did you
Don't Look Up is different. I'm not talking about Don't Look Up.
Okay.
That's a satire. But
that's a harsh,
but real harsh, like this is how reality is gonna be if we continue to live this way. You know what I mean? There's a different tone, and tone is everything. And I don't know if it's the directing or the writing or just people want to spend money on drama over comedy, but like.
Well,
I think we need more Josh Margulies out there, mainstream.
Yeah,
basically. So what I'm saying.
I'm doing my
self plug here.
Yeah,
little plug on myself.
Do it. Plug yourself.
Plug yourself.
Hey!
Are you drinking a beer too? I love it.
Yeah, it's Alpha Centauri. You guys got to try this out.
Make me want to open a beer.
Yeah. If you're not driving,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is Jimmy Buffett, baby. Back to to encapsulate that Robert Downey Jr. bit for Tropic Thunder. Wow, that guy did a fucking crazy job on it. He goes and he does the reveal, which is Ben Stiller had a lot. Anyways, he directed the shit out of that movie. But
and every
reveal when he takes out the contacts, awesome. The blonde hair without any CG. It was very old filmmaking, but like when he took his contacts and took off the wig and did the reveal on camera. I mean, you don't see moments like that very often. That's a magical moment.
And I thought even Tom Cruise, say what you will about him, but I thought that was one of his best roles because
people love Tom Cruise. People love Tom Cruise. He's a real movie star.
He was amazing in that role. Yeah, people love him for whatever reason, but he was amazing in Tropic Thunder. Like that movie. And then speaking of Robert Downey Jr., just not to talk about Tom Cruise too much. Speaking about Robert Downey Jr. in Natural Born Killers, he's like the comic relief. He's that. Hey, this is Wade, or even in the end, you feel for him so bad because of what happens to him in the end. I don't want to give any spoilers because that's one of the best movies in the world, and anyone that hasn't seen Natural Born Killers should see it. But Robert Downey Jr. is definitely the comic relief in that, and you can tell like he had such a hard life, and he put comedy into it. And say what you will, it's not easy being famous, and he was famous from a young age, but he took humor to his life. And you can see the harshness that he went through as well. And I think that movie is a perfect example of that acting coming to fruition.
Why do you think people want to be famous?
That's a great question. Wow. All right. So we're getting philosophical deep now. I think that there's something in us all that wants the recognition outwardly. That outward recognition, because there's something insecure. It comes from a deep insecurity. That's my opinion on it. And I feel like for myself, I can relate to that insecurity, being like kind of, bullied in school and teased and stuff. I got in fights a lot. I was scrapping in the schoolyard. But I kind of learned to get over that insecurity. And I think as an actor, I've been able to push through that insecurity even more. And it's the expression of it's a side of yourself. You can bring out yourself, a different characters all the time, and it's the fun. Life itself is an experience, an amazing experience. So why not play all those experiences we can in your own roles, your own self?
Yeah, it seems like there's a different, like, fame is a very. I'm trying to take you to the backyard, but fame, like, it seems like there's a billion reasons and ways to be famous, like throughout time in history, either Cleopatra or Marilyn Monroe. We could talk about negative and positive reasons why people.
Donald Trump, for example.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's my trigger. I can't handle that.
All right. Well, we're not going to. So the politicians are famous. Like, Putin's famous, that now more than ever, I guess, or not more than ever. I don't know. Been in power 20 years, but there's different levels of it. And I feel like because life is such a joke anyway, and it's so crazy, and like, not in a bad way. It's just it's ridiculous, right? So if we can grasp onto that ridiculousness, then why not play? Why not play around with it? And God bless you. God bless you if you can make people laugh. God bless you if you make people cry. Whatever.
Putin's definitely making some people cry. To be Putin famous is all. Putin famous is a whole nother kind of fame.
Yeah, I meant cry like have an emotional connection with something.
Yeah,
not like out of pain and struggle.
Well, let's talk about pain and struggle. I've been painting and struggling all my life. I just want to make goddamn movies.
You've been painting?
What's that?
You've been painting?
I just painted for the first time like a couple days ago because I've been traveling. I saw you guys when I was in LA, but I just painted a couple paintings for the first time in a month and a half. Cool. So thanks for asking. But
I did a play on words. I did a play on words there, and I remember that when we were at Claude's house that you had some paintings, and it's good. It's great therapy, right?
Well, it's a way of life. I mean, it's how I make my living.
And it's how you make your money. So
yeah, it's a therapy, and it's a lot of things. I mean, I'd probably have been gone insane if I hadn't had, painting in my life or that outlet. I sold first. What's that?
Go ahead.
No, I just sold my first painting when I was like 13 years old. So I think that triggered me to like go, oh, I got a taste. I can actually make money, make with my hands, and be, I made a decision pretty consciously as a child because I could do cartoons really good, really fast, and I was influenced by Frank Frazetta and and Ralph Bakshi and Chuck Jones and Tex Avery and stuff like that. And I purposely went into a different direction with the paintings because I didn't want. I thought cartoons were too easy, even though I was a cartoon freak. I love cartoons, but so I love Da Vinci and Moreau and Monet and Van Gogh, all these different, so I kind of wanted to be more serious. I guess I didn't take, I would be taken seriously as an artist if I did cartoons, which I love cartoons. But anyways, that's enough about me. Let's talk about the state of the industry. Let's give ourselves about maybe 10 more minutes, or we can talk for, it's just free form. We can talk for as long as you want. But what's your advice to up and coming actors? What would you have liked to have known at 21 from your older self to your younger self that you would have liked to have known before you are at your spot now that you are in reality life?
That's a great question too. Well, first of all, ask more girls out on dates. Just kidding. My wife's not here, so there we go.
Stella.
Stella. No, have more fun. But that's something I maybe paid too much attention to be honest. It's funny that I blurted that out, but like maybe pay less attention to that. Focus more on, what's really helped me is, and Stella talked about it too, with marketing yourself, finding your brand, finding that, like, because we're all a brand, we're all like, that's who we are to the directors and the producers and the writers. Those are the people that I care about, because they're the real filmmakers, right? So I am a brand to them. I am Josh Margulies, super suave, tan, surfs, boxes, wears cool Aloha shirts, hunts for treasures, takes life, by the horns, like an Ernest Hemingway type.
Yeah.
So finding that and knowing that has been ideal. So I would say for the young
I'm listening
people,
to you. I'm listening. I'm tracking you the whole way.
Yeah.
I just gotta.
I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I guess just it's all right. So for people that are just getting into it, do what you want. Don't listen to anyone, because there's so much static out there. There's so much, everyone has an opinion on what you should be doing. I mean, sure, listen to your mom or something like that.
Don't
Or
listen to her.
yeah, you could listen to your mom, or you don't, like, whatever. But like, stop putting so much stake into your acting school, or stop putting so much stake into your agent, if you have one. If you don't, then you can agentize yourself. That's what they're doing isn't magic either. And don't, and like, just, I guess, find that power within. And we were talking about insecurity. That's the harder part. That's why it's easier said than done. So, wake up in the morning and have something that makes you happy, that is not just pursuing your said career. You're lucky enough, you shared with us about your painting. So you're fortunate enough that you can make money doing what you love. And I think that's the ideal for us all as actors, is to be doing what we love. Hopefully we love it, or we wouldn't still be doing it and be more static, right? So us to be being paid for that passion, paid for the passion. And
it's like we want to travel the world and we want to make movies with our friends, and those all seem like good things, right? Those are travel the world, have a party, make things with the friends and people you love the most, and see this organic sort of thing happen.
Yeah, my latest audition, I'll just share it because, well, maybe there's a disclosure thing, but anyway, it was a really fun.
No one's watching this thing anyways. This is just me and you. This is just me and you. No one's going to see this.
No. So this audition let me see another side of the world, basically. And you just have to throw out the am I going to get it or not sort of thing, because we don't have power over that.
But the fun is in the doing.
But the fun is in the doing. The joy is in the do. I mean, I had so much fun on this film right here, the one that we,
The Lost Treasure.
That was such a fun, because I was in Hawaii where I grew up. I was able to basically kind of roam around the island. I made the executive decisions on casting because I was a producer on it. And yeah, I mean, it was, and then I had to memorize all those lines, which was the least fun part about it.
Okay.
Probably.
I want to talk about that for a second, because it's always, whenever I'm talking to actors or producers, what's your best way that you found to memorize lines?
Oh man, that's tough, because I use different methods. And I guess I'm still a little bit learning that, because for me, I need to keep variety to it, so that I have a free flow, so that I'm able to, because a lot of the time it changes, like in the moment, your line will change. In comedy, a lot of the time it's like, oh, we wrote it like this, but we want to do it like this. So one technique I use is writing it and then reading the writing over and over and over again, but writing it over and over again and trying to just do it from memory on the writing. And then a good one that I've used is listening to the lines in like a, headphones or something, and then just doing things like whatever around the house. Or one that I saw was suggested to me, and I need to try it, is just listening to it on the headphones and then doing something physical. Like for me, I love boxing, so hitting the punching bag or hitting the speed bag while I'm listening to the lines, and then I'll say it, and so you're doing something, you're actively doing something, and it's coming into your mind. But one of the techniques that worked a lot for me is a theatrical technique was just saying the line. It's just trying to say it over and over, like all the like cut out the other person's lines and just saying my lines over and 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 over. I mean, it's one of the methods. But on set, on like, for example, on that film, as I had the hat of producing as well, and it was busy, it was just like whatever I can do, however I can do it, get behind this tree and just have my alone time or whatever.
And do you do it so, like, with the limited acting stuff I've done in my life, but the Cheeky Bird thing that I did for my friend Ethan, where I acted, it was I forgot about when you're on, you're aware of the camera, you're aware everything's like, all this nervous energy, all this adrenaline's pumping, and then it's your scene and you shoot it, and I go blank, and then I have an out-of-body experience, sort of like how I can see myself as a third person from in this interview. Like I'm watching this, I'm having also like a little bit of an out-of-body experience because I'm aware of me,
yeah.
I'm aware of you, and I'm aware of
Right.
everything else, but the words that are coming out of my mouth are coming out of my mouth for the first time.
Because you love it.
Yeah, and but so when you are on set,
Adrenaline rush.
that adrenaline punch, endorphin
Yeah.
kick, and you
Yeah.
forgot about, and everything's on automatic pilot, and you're like,
yeah.
and you're what you've just basically memorized and you forgot, and then you're automatic. It's like and that I forgot about because I hadn't felt that since I did like a stage thing, improv thing, like 20,000 million.
Yeah, stage is really fun too,
but it comes out of you, right?
Audience feedback. Yeah, exactly. And I think speaking of stage now, I'll just touch on that for a second. I've done both in front of the camera and then in front of an audience on the stage. And there's something about that audience just that fires me up so much more because you have that instant gratification. That's all I can say. It's like a drug because and I can see why theater actors just are so addicted to it and love it so much. This film, we shot it 2 years ago, so like to only have recognition, February of 2019 was when we shot it. So to only have like the audience recognition, good or bad, whatever, in 2022, now like it just came out in January, right? So they're not, it's just, anyway, the acting in front of the stage is more fun.
So like when you now I haven't seen this movie, I want to see The Lost Treasure, but like did it come out the way you wanted it to, and are you happy with the results of what you've done?
Well,
that might be that's a kind of a, not trying to be a weird question, but like, it's exactly what I just asked. It's just like, are you happy with, did the dream meet the expectation, or how do you feel about the experience?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm married to the wife, the writer and the director. So
choose your words carefully.
Yeah, and she's not, maybe she'll watch this later, but cut out the part about the anyway.
No, I'm not cutting anything. She can handle it.
The thing I said earlier, but
no,
she can totally she can influence me, is what I was going to say, because if she is not happy about how something turned out, then I'm not happy about how something turned out. And that's just by association.
Well, plus you share the same, you guys work.
What's that?
This movie's like your guys' baby,
Oh yeah, it's a baby.
Together hard on this thing.
For sure, especially because Hawaii means so much to me, and I was able to shoot it there. So in that being said, I am super happy. Like we were on KITV4 News the ABC affiliate, they interviewed us on Zoom for like 5 minutes. So we're on the morning news in Hawaii. And I was like, holy shit, I fucking made it. This is like, check the box. You know, I'm on my local news station, the ABC affiliate. I'm boom. Doesn't get any better than that. I was like, here, we're talking to the director. This film has distribution, and this is the actor and director. And you know, we had just come back from France. We were almost not ready for it. I was like, am I in a dream still? It is that like haze of like, wait, are we on like the morning news, the Good Morning Hawaii news? Like, yeah, we are. Holy shit. So that I was happy with. I was really happy that we were able to do so much in Hawaii. I was able to kind of be the producer and pull on favors from friends, and you know, to get a lot of that equipment and film and then the professionalism of some of the crew as well. And the only thing that I'm not happy about is the music from the guys in Eastern Europe. They made it sound kind of sad and weird on that end. So Stella made her director's cut, and there were some things I like with her director's cut. Is amazing. Her director's cut, you know, should be the one out there, but whatever, that version is out there. It's still really cool. I wish that I mean, I'm really happy it got distribution and marketing, and I just wish it was on maybe free platforms, because people have to pay for it, pay $5, but it's still like, with all the free stuff out there, you know, it's only $5, but it's hard for people to pay. The reviews have been pretty good. As far as my acting goes, I'm 100% okay with it, because I've stopped trying to judge my acting. I've seen myself, and I know how subjective it is, and so I put my performance there. I didn't like take a poop on the camera. Like,
that's a different movie.
That's a different one, right?
That's
I got pretty good reviews. I got actually one review on specifically the acting, pulled me out and like wrote a whole essay on like how much they enjoyed my acting and they wanted to see me in more mainstream things. So that was like a legit review from a British critic or whatever. And then there were like, it's nice to have the reviews on the film that, you know, it's good. So I think all in all, yeah, I'm very pleased with the work, how it looks now.
And so where do you go from now? Where are you at? Where's a Josh Margulies going to do now? What's your next step, buddy? What's going on?
So,
what do you want to see happen? What is actually happening?
I am auditioning. I'm making these videos for producers and casting and directors to see, you know, get my name out there, because the time is now. The time is, you know, I'm ripe for the acting roles. So you know, there's so little that you can control, but if you can control your own, I think the mind is just the most important thing, right? You know, if you can control that mindset and you can keep pushing through and you know, try different things and mix it up. But I'm lucky enough to have the wifey who basically I'm on the casting couch, number one.
Better perform. Well, you got
right up,
obviously performing.
Right. No, but there's a role, she writes it for me. So she's got these films. And if nothing else, if I don't have,
so you do have to sleep with the director to get a gig in this fucking town.
Right, you do. That's it. That's the name of the game, buddy. There's always going to be there. Bob Dylan has a song and it's called Serve Somebody. And it's so simple. There's always somebody you're going to have to serve. And if the sooner we realize that we're not fucking Tom Cruise, the better, right? Yeah. Like whoever, Tom Cruise is an example, or, you know, the Pope, or, you know, the president of the world, or that doesn't even exist, right?
World star.
What?
World star.
Right. So, but those people probably had to work to get to that level too. They probably had to serve somebody at some point, right?
So is your goal like, is it obviously you're an
It's
actor.
more mainstream. My goal is not to just she's gonna be good. She's gonna be big. She's gonna get stuff. But my goal is to actually star in an HBO comedy series, star in a feature film from a studio point of view. And I feel like Stella will be, because we're in LA, it's a TV town. I think it's only a matter of time before she's, directing Hulu episodes, directing episodes on Netflix. She's gonna be given those opportunities, and she, not that I want to push myself in that way, but she'll have a say. And meantime, whatever, I'm still working on my own. We both have desks here, and they're both right next to each other, so we work from home, and we're constantly doing the thing from behind the scenes.
And so to star, and I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but is to be famous, that's not the central goal for you creating your movies and stuff like that. Is it fame, or is it to get money for bigger projects, or is it recognition so that you could employ people to help on a project that takes more than just, no man's an island or no woman's an island,
Right.
we'll do this together. What propels you? How do you stay vigilant? What makes you tick? And I know there's a lot of things, but I just
so one at a time.
Okay. So choose any one of those and pick one.
Well, you pick one. Funnel it for me.
Okay. Why do you do the things you do? What drives you? How do you stay vigilant?
Because it keeps the fire going, I guess. I for some reason, just traveling just popped into my head. We were speaking about that a little bit, because I used to love, my thing was like, what do I want to do in life? Just surf the world and travel, and that's it for me. That's fine. And so this has come into the replacement for that, because I had that, so to speak, to just try to find my own space in the world in a way. And that was, and being in the ocean is still with me, which is great. Because the ocean's right there, fortunately. The ocean's everywhere, but there's that. I guess I'm going off on a tangent, but
no, we're in the water right now. I'm in the water with you. I'm in the water.
You're out there on
in the ocean.
Okay. All right. So we're sitting there, we're waiting for a set wave to come. And for me, it's the journey. I'm trying to really just enjoy the journey, enjoy the moments in between the sets, enjoy that paddling back out time, or just sitting on the board and breathing the air in and seeing the sun sparkle on the water.
That's beautiful.
Enjoying the little things. Yeah.
Because it seems like as the things that influence me and probably you or most filmmakers, as a child, we see things with child's eyes. We see, like Jason the Argonauts, where here has an animation for the first time as a child, and it influences, you want that inspiration. I think we try to find that inspiration throughout our lives that made us feel that way. When we saw E.T. for the first time in a movie theater, or, I cried, I saw that in the movie theater. I was an E.T. fanatic, but the way that made me feel, I think we kind of chase this dragon with our own filmmaking, because we want to have that other people have that experience that we were so influenced by, and what made us want to do what we do, is to get that kick that we had as a child's eyes, see things for the first time, see Apocalypse Now for the first time, or David Lynch's Dune,
or even just see, I was walking with Heloise yesterday, and she there was a storm coming in or something, and it was windy, and then it was just this part of the walk we're walking on the street and it was like these leaves blew and there was all this like air and she goes, oh, and she just stopped and she just went, oh, like there was just some, like just an appreciation of like, wow, that's nature blowing its breath or something. And she can't explain it. We can't explain where we get, like, we stop in the moment and go, thank you world, or thank you whoever the power is. And she just had that in that moment, and I was like, oh, thank you for being so sweet and cute and just appreciating the finer things in life, really.
Yeah, the magic of, you know, reality that we live in this planet, and apparently it doesn't last forever, and we got these moments that we can kind of experience these leaves and air and snow and elements, fire, whatever, and
Yeah,
kind of
it's
walk around on the planet for a little bit.
there's so much just consumerism that's just pounded into us. And, you know, look at the silliness of what we're talking about, the state of the industry. Look at like, and I have a business consultant that I love right now. And she just, the last time I talked to her, I told her that my agents aren't doing anything for me. And like, I'm like, what is this craziness? And they're like, I'm doing, you know, they're telling me they need new headshots. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look like how I look like, I can play with what I have. But it's so broken. There's such a broken word on things. And it's like, we just need to find the community. And, you know, Stella and I have that community, and Heloise and, you know, maybe, you know, Claude's a great guy. We acted together. Like, that we just have to find this community and nurture that. And I think just that there's so much that's wrong about the industry for us as actors, because the whole terminology, and like, I asked them for a submission report, right? That's what it's called. I want to see what my agent and manager are submitting me on. But the term submit is terrible in and of itself. Like, you're submitting to this role, your submissions, you know, the be submissive, and, you know, like, it's right there. It's all written in black and white, and you're not supposed to know. Your agent's supposed to do this. Like, I literally have called casting and been like, why aren't you reading my emails? I'm an actor. You need me. You're a casting company, right? Why aren't you reading my emails? And they're like, well, you really have to go through your agent. They're fucking getting 10%. Why would I go through my agent? I am the manager. I am the CEO of my company, Josh Margulies Incorporated. Yeah. I'm the fucking brand here. So, like, what, agent? You're scared, so you make an agent do the work for you? It's just, that's what's broken about it. That's just doesn't, woo, cuckoo, right? Like, what? You think I'm going to pull a gun out to the agency or the casting company? Well, what is it? What are you scared of? Deal with me. Deal with me. Like, the agency they don't represent me. Yeah, they represent me, but like, that's not my brother or my mom or something, or my wife. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going off on a tangent because I'm pissed off about it, but
I like it.
well, my commercial agent is great though. She's really sweet, and she's got the same mindset, and she comes to my parties and all that. And she's commercial agent though. So, but she gets some stuff that's and then my agent in France is cool because he's French and I'm American. And I've got, you know, more of a niche over there, I guess.
Yeah.
Big in Europe. I'm big in Europe.
Big in Europe. Do you do any impressions?
Well, I can do an accent of an Irishman. I can do impressions. I don't really do so much.
What's your what form of entertainment do you consume the most right now lately? How do you get your entertainment? What do you watch?
Like what streaming platforms or
anything?
whatever?
Podcasts, reading, bicycling. I don't know. How are you digesting? What media are you digesting most these days? Consuming.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do more exercise. Like, you said bicycling. I'm trying to do that speed bag and the boxing and stuff. But as far as watching stuff, I think I just got Hulu back, that platform. I had Apple TV for a little while. And I guess during the day, I'm like just on the computer trying to do some research or whatever.
Okay. There's just so many different ways. We were talking about that earlier. So do you want to wrap this up? And is there anything, do you want to bring Stella in and the kid? And I can say, or just tell her I said goodbye.
They went on a walk.
Okay.
The rain stopped and it's sunny now. And
oh, the rain did stop. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that I'm forgetting to ask you?
No, I think we're you covered it. What's the name of your podcast?
It's called Brett's with Friends.
Okay.
And this is the 72nd episode, 72.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't done one for about a month and a half because everybody's been busy. As the COVID is lifted, people seem like they have started to migrate towards their normal behavior. And so like, I started this because people had time to do more. And I do have some really cool people coming on some future episodes that we've had to kind of, it's actually, it's fun because this podcast has it's been feeding my artist and my filmmaker self, because I can do it without a budget and I can do it with, and I edit it and put it together and it's very fulfilling in that regard because I'm creating something and I'm learning something. But it's definitely, it's fun to go with the kind of be like water, Bruce Lee, like when I think about how many people I've almost done a podcast with or flaked out or we had to reschedule. And it's actually, I've been trying to make it in Hollywood or quote, not really, it's the term you would use, make it in Hollywood, but do my projects and get things created. And so I've had rejection all my life. So when people aren't able to make this podcast, it's actually, okay, we'll just do it. It's sort of like a water off a duck's butt. I'm pretty acclimatable to people's schedules and stuff like that. But this has been a great outlet for me and to learn and to network and actually just to have learning conversations and stuff like that. So
yeah, we had a pretty deep, intensive, we've touched on a lot of things. I'm happy about our
chit chat,
chat from natural, from natural born killers to the light on the ocean to
oh my God. Oh, real quick. That Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I overheard you asking Stella that. And
yeah.
I think it was a stunt, just fake.
Like, you think it was fake?
I'm pretty sure like when you don't actually
I don't know, man.
hit, you don't even see the close. So like these guys are actors, so they know how to do like a stunt hit. And that's the
I don't think so. I think it might have. No, I think it'll be. It was. I don't think it was a stunt at all. I think Chris pushed Will's button and he's not going to sue him. He's not pressing charges.
Well, he's not pressing charges.
They both have more money than each other, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Why don't they could have if they wanted to really make it dramatic, they could have arrested him and then had like Will Smith can't accept his Oscar now because he is in jail.
Hey, they might take that Oscar away from him. They might like go, that'll be the first and last time he wins Best Actor.
Oh yeah, like it's funny that he didn't get that in the past because he's done a lot of work. I mean, he's legit. So.
I mean, he's legit. The Scientology thing kind of freaks me out.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is what I really enjoyed. I mean, I liked I Am Legend as well, but Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was was the bomb.
Yeah. Did you ever see? Have you ever seen Kyle Dunningham's The Fresh Prez?
The
Kyle
Fresh
Dunningham?
Prez? Uh-uh.
Oh, you got to check it out. It's Kyle Dunningham. Just go to YouTube, go to Fresh Prez. He does a Biden thing. He does a face swap thing. I've talked to him about. Anyways, I've been on his show a few times, but you got to check that shit out. But yeah, I've never been a Will Smith, that big of a Will Smith fan. But I mean, I can respect his work ethic. He works like it all the time.
He's got the staying power. He's been in the business a while.
It's hard to sustain that.
That's very true. That's very true.
Very rarely does it. It's like somebody can have a Tom
true.
Hanks, Denzel Washington, Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
You know, it's a very
yeah.
even Sandra Bullock is quitting right now. You know, she's going to quit. She's quitting the industry. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah,
She'll
Sandra
be
Bullock.
back.
Sandra Bullock is retiring.
She'll be back.
I don't know. Look at Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore was at the top of her game. She's not working as much either. And also, like, who's that? Madeline Stowe is. You don't see her around too much, but she is working. But these are top tier actors that it's very unsustainable. It's very volatile. This industry.
Freeman and Dennis, or not Morgan Freeman and Denzel Washington are probably two of the most famous ever, and they've got the staying power. And a lot of that is probably from diversity, I guess.
Well, no, they're just fucking good actors. I mean, did you see? I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to. The Macbeth movie that Denzel was nominated for, the black and white. Did you see it?
He did a great job. He certainly did a great job. But I'm a huge fan of Macbeth, and so that movie didn't do it for me.
Really?
I wanted to see. I just didn't know what I was watching for the most part. It was, yeah. That's an opinion. Sure, I definitely didn't enjoy it. Like there was a review on it. I don't know if it was a fake review, but it was like did he do this as like a jab at his brother? Because it was only one of the Coen brothers. So did he intentionally make a terrible film? What was that, Stella? That review that I enjoyed about Macbeth, of like one of the Coen brothers, like you. I don't know.
I think it was fake.
It was probably a fake review.
A fake
But
review?
no, I didn't enjoy. I loved his acting in that, but I did. Yeah, no. I think Frances McDormand really, because she's married to that Coen brother.
Yeah.
So I think Frances McDormand really wanted to play Lady Macbeth, and that's the politics of it.
Yeah, she definitely did, and she does whatever she wants, really. And there's it's funny, I'm sure Frances McDormand is a wonderful human being, because I just think she's great, but probably not, as a human she's probably pretty crazy as well. But like these rich people is like and not to dismantle nomad land at all, but you have these people are living in ivory. These it's a fine line, because these people live in Malibu and they're billion-dollar houses, and then they do these movies about homelessness and then go back to their $1 million mansions and win their Oscars about portraying homeless people. it's like
yeah, there's no method acting anymore, unless you're Sean Penn. Then you just want to go out there and be in the Ukraine or whatever he's doing. I don't even know where he is now.
He's back in LA.
He's perfect for that movie, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one? I like that one.
Jim Carrey was supposed to do a remake of that years ago.
Oh, okay.
Steve Odekirk was going to write it.
Really?
But they got really close.
Wow,
But they didn't do it.
That'd be cool. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of stories like of movies that didn't get made. Steve Odekirk was writing The Nutty Professor. He wrote The Nutty Professor, and then they wrote the sequel. I'm sure this is not new, but it's just a funny like LA trivia, Hollywood stuff. But they wrote the sequel to The Nutty Professor, and originally, and it was a green lit. Odekirk wrote it. It was the Eddie Murphy was signed on. They did it, but the script was him turning into a woman.
Mm.
And then he got caught with that transvestite on Hollywood Boulevard, and they completely shelved that like overnight and rewrote it like with different writers and said, let's flip this. We got some marketing to redo.
Interesting. So when are you coming back down to La La Land?
I don't know when when La La Land will have me back, I'll do it. But right now I'm in Oregon. I'm gonna travel, maybe go to Tahoe in May, but I don't know. I like to come to LA, and actually now it's more like short spurts because I don't want to get a lease on a place or anything like that there. But I'll go live with Claude for a little bit here and there.
Yeah, it's too much static and too much people over here. So
Really, when are you gonna leave town? Are you guys had any plans to leave town anytime soon?
no, we're locked in. We're pretty well locked in for the next several months.
Maybe
of course,
go to
always
Santa Barbara for
Hawaii
a
or-
day or something. Go to Santa Barbara.
yeah, we'll probably head up there. I mean, the babe's about to have her second birthday, so we got to do something for that.
Santa
But
Barbara's
Stella's
nice.
locked in. She's working tonight. Or she's work. Her workshop is starting tonight, directing workshop, and
Nice.
that's every Monday now, and so we're doing that, and I think, oh, we're gonna go see the Poppies tomorrow.
Nice.
That's like a 2-hour drive. That's kind of almost a Santa Barbara mission.
That'll be nice. Well, the Coast Drive is gorgeous. It's just nice to
Yeah.
You start to feel the city come off you a little bit
Right, for
as
sure.
you get further and further down.
I used to go up to Surf Rincon all the time, which is right. It's where the 101 has that, when you're right on the coast, the
Yep, and
two-lane
all those
highway,
campers,
and you're
all those
just like,
campers are there.
"Doo-doo-doo." No, it's like you're literally right on the ocean. You're like do 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 do, and
No, but they
then
have those campers, those guys in the trailers that are parked. That's a camp spot in front of Rincon, isn't it? off of
no,
PCH?
you're probably thinking of a different spot. But like, no, that you can't camp over there. But there's trailers, all the like. That's probably more Malibu. You're thinking.
No, it's past that. It's between. I tried. The reason why is sometimes we're gonna leave soon, but no, but like there's all those like Winnebagos and stuff like that. The stretch, it's like between Santa Barbara, I think it was Rincon. I mean, as like between Ojai and something, and I tried parking there because I after my dog died, and I was trying to just find a place to park my vehicle and sleep, and I had all this artwork, and these guys did not want me around. They're like, no, we registered this. This is a campground. It's right on the beach. It's where you see if you're driving.
Oh, was there like a park ranger came up to you and?
No, all the other guys, I was asking, hey, this is an empty spot. And people just did not want to talk to me. They're like, no, just leave us alone. That spot's probably being taken up by somebody. People reserve these spots.
What's wrong with people?
Well, they're territorial.
Yeah.
Such is life. Okay, so let's wrap it up. I think we've milked this for as long as we can.
There's more.
Stella and Josh, do you want to tell anybody about how they can reach you, network with you guys? If you want to be contacted, how they would get your Instagram or anything like that you guys, the floor is yours. You guys can talk about whatever you want for as long as you want, but let's just go from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, Stella Tinucci, you can just find me on Facebook or Instagram, Stella Tinucci, and I also have that website of the same name, and that's probably the easiest way, yeah.
And then the easiest one for me is the Instagram, Surf Actor, just like it sounds, the Surf Actor, SURF Actor, ACTOR.
Perfect.
All one word.
Well, thank you guys for being so generous with your time. And your baby is growing up, and happy 2 years old coming up for her. This has been great. See, this was fun, right? It was easy.
Yeah,
This wasn't a big deal.
Let us know when we can see our famous faces.
Okay, and if you want to send me a trailer or like an MP4 of anything that you want me to edit into this, we can maybe I'll just introduce a trailer right now and we'll play it at the end. That'll be our out. If you guys want to send it to me.
Yeah.
Introduce the trailer.
Enjoy the trailer of our latest feature film, which is in Hawaii, called The Last Treasure.
Don't let anybody see that.
Wait, what are you talking about?
the infamous Eddie Fox. I've heard about your treasure hunting and deciphering skills. The book needs to be decoded in order to find the spear.
No, that doesn't sound right at all. You know the Spear of Mana is a myth, right?
So why are you so concerned?
It's that woman Mahina. She's back.
Do you know what this is?
It's a map made of drawings.
You got it. A symbol to reveal secrets.
Kapuni means compass, right?
It's a lunar compass. Aren't you excited? It's mystery, it's adventures.
Why me? Why did you choose to give the book to me?
Your ancestor was known as the Olohana, created a special compass to keep the spear safe.
Let them go. It shows the way to the spear.
Something powerful is coming. You don't want to look for Pololu, Charles. It'll destroy you.
This is one of the most powerful weapons in Hawaiian history.
I think it doesn't give us power, but it wants us to find it within.
Okay, well, we'll end on that note.
All right.
Alrighty.
I'll talk to you guys soon, man. Thank you so much for
Later,
and thanks
man.
for,
Aloha.
aloha, mahalo. I'll see you guys soon in LA. All right.
All right. Later.
All right. Cheers. Thanks a lot for being on.
Thanks.
All right. All right. That was fun. So, yeah, that was a nice show. Yeah, it was ups and downs, and those were great. That was great. Very informative. I'll see you guys soon. Let's talk in the future. And this has been Brett's with Friends, episode 72, with Stella Tinucci and Josh Margulies. Producing, directing couple, acting couple. And I'll see you guys in the future. Ciao.
Never going to end. Break with friends, break with friends, break with friends. Let's do it again. Oh, 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 Brett. He talks to people about stuff. He's the podcast man.